I know what you might be thinking, 0.1 Bitcoin. That's not even a full coin. What's the big deal? And that's exactly the mindset we're going to unpack today. Most people still do and grasp the real significance of holding what might seem like a fraction of a Bitcoin. And by the end of this video, you'll see it in a whole new light. First, let's get the big number out of the way. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. That's the hard cap, written into its code, and it will never change. Now, think about the world's population, which is currently over 8 billion people. If we were to distribute all the Bitcoin that will ever exist equally among everyone on the planet, nobody would even come close to owning a full Bitcoin. The math is simple. 21 million divided by 8 billion. The result is a tiny fraction. This scarcity is the fundamental principle that gives Bitcoin its value. It's digital gold, but with a supply cap that's even more transparent and predictable than actual gold. So, when you hear 0.1 Bitcoin, don't think of it as a small piece of one thing. Think of it as a significant portion of a very limited global asset. Now let's talk about a concept called unit bias. This is a psychological tendency where people prefer to own a whole unit of something rather than a fraction of it, even if the fraction is more valuable. Let's put 0.1 Bitcoin into perspective. Owning 0.1 BTC would place you in a very exclusive group of people. Let's do some more math. If you own 0.1 Bitcoin, you own more Bitcoin than the vast majority of the world's population ever will. Think about it. If only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist, how many people can own a full one? At most, 21 million, and that's assuming one person per coin, which we know isn't the case. Some people and institutions own thousands, so the number of whole coiners is much smaller. Now consider how many people can own 0.1 BTC. Theoretically, that's 210 million people. That might sound like a lot, but compared to 8 billion people, it means that at maximum, it's only about 2.6% of the global population could ever own 0.1 Bitcoin. And in reality, due to lost coins and large holders, that percentage is even smaller. So, holding 0.1 Bitcoin already makes you part of a global financial elite in terms of Bitcoin ownership. You're in the top percentile. It's not a fraction, it's a status. It's a ticket to a club that most people woe and be able to join in the future. Now, let's shift from scarcity to practicality and future value. We're not just talking about a digital collectible. We're talking about a potential global reserve asset. Major corporations are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets. Entire countries have made it legal tender. The financial plumbing of the world is slowly but surely integrating Bitcoin. As this adoption continues, the demand for Bitcoin will naturally increase. But what won't increase? The supply. Basic economics tells us what happens when demand skyrockets and supply stays fixed. The price goes up. So, what could 0.1 Bitcoin be worth in the future? I'm not here to give you financial advice or wild price predictions, but let's look at some models from credible analysts. Some financial models predict a Bitcoin price of anywhere from $500,000 to over $1 million per coin within the next decade. Driven by institutional adoption and its role as an inflation hedge, another thing people miss is the divisibility. Bitcoin is divisible down to 8 decimal places. The smallest unit is called a satoshi, or a sat. There are 100 million satoshis in one Bitcoin. So, when you own 0.1 BTC, you actually own 10 million satoshis. As the price of a full Bitcoin rises, people will stop talking in terms of whole Bitcoins and start transacting and pricing things in satoshis. It's just more practical. We'll talk about things costing a few thousand sats, just like we talk about things costing a few dollars or cents today. The term sat millionaires is already becoming a thing. Owning 10 million sats makes you a multi-sat millionaire. This is more than just a fun name. It represents a fundamental shift in how we perceive and use this asset. Your 0.1 Bitcoin isn't just a single fraction. It's 10 million usable units of a future global currency. That's a powerful perspective change. Let's also address the idea of a Bitcoin middle class. In the future, the world might not be divided into the haves and have-nots, but into those who own some Bitcoin and those who own none. The early adopters who became Bitcoin billionaires are one class. But there will be a new global middle class built on this digital foundation. These will be the people who had the foresight to accumulate a portion of a coin, like 0.1 BTC. This amount could represent a significant nest egg, a down payment on a house, a college fund for your kids, or a comfortable retirement. It's your personal financial foundation, built on the most secure computer network in the world, that no one can inflate away or confiscate without your keys. It's financial sovereignty. And 0.1 Bitcoin is a very realistic and achievable entry point into that sovereign future for the average person today. But that window of opportunity is closing. As the price continues its upward trajectory over the years, accumulating 0.1 Bitcoin will become progressively harder, eventually becoming as difficult as it is for most people to buy a house with cash today. So to wrap it all up, what do most people still not get about 0.1 Bitcoin? They don't get the mind-bending scarcity. They are tricked by unit bias into thinking it's insignificant. They don't understand the exclusivity that owning 0.1 BTC puts them in a tiny global percentile. They underestimate the future purchasing power as adoption grows and the fiat system weakens. And they don't yet think in terms of satoshis, the native unit of the future. Owning 0.1 Bitcoin is not about owning a fraction. It's about owning a significant stake in the future of money. It's a strategic position in the most important financial asset of the 21st century. It's a goal that is still attainable for many, but won't be for long. So the next time you hear someone dismiss a fraction of a Bitcoin, you'll know the secret they're missing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has given you a new perspective on what it means to own a piece of the Bitcoin network. If you found this valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You think 0.1 Bitcoin is a life-changing amount? I'd love to hear from you. Till next time, stay curious and think long-term.